If you're new to the world of racing wheels, it can be a bit overwhelming when you start looking at products. There are tons of different options from different brands like HORI, Thrustmaster, and Logitech, as well as quite a few questionable brands. So how do we know which one to buy? First, it depends on your budget, just like everything else. If you're starting around the $100 mark, you have quite a few options. You have the Overdrive wheel by HORI, the Thrustmaster Ferrari 458 racing wheel, and then a bunch of other cheap Chinese options that you can get on Amazon. I suggest sticking to a bigger name brand like Thrustmaster or HORI, as opposed to the lesser known brands, for better quality control as well as better customer support in the future. But it's important to note that at this low of a price point, you're going to be missing one key feature: force feedback. This feature allows you to feel a mix of vibrations on the steering wheel as well as a varying degree of resistance. It creates a more immersive experience, allowing you to feel the bumps in the road as well as resistance on the wheel when you turn too quickly around a corner. If you want force feedback, you're looking at spending around $200. To start is the HORI Force Feedback Racing Wheel DLX. This is HORI's first attempt at a force feedback racing wheel, and it shows. While the DLX boasts a dual motor feature, the force feedback on this option is not as good as that on the Thrustmaster or the Logitech. We suggest skipping on this wheel unless you find it for a significantly discounted price. Next, we have the Thrustmaster TMX, which is Thrustmaster's entry-level force feedback wheel. The TMX uses a brushed motor with a mixed belt pulley. Now, while quiet, it doesn't compare in terms of stronger feedback provided by a belt-driven wheel, just like the Thrustmaster TX. Another important thing to note about the TMX is it's not designed for swappable wheel rims, which is a pretty big disappointment considering Thrustmaster has a wide assortment of swappable wheels. Also, while not included, you do have the option to add on the TH8A shifter from Thrustmaster, but that's going to be costing you an extra $200. Ouch. Next up in the entry-level force feedback racing wheels is the long-running Logitech G series, more specifically the G920, which has been around since 2015. Logitech has been making racing wheels since the late 1990s, and they've got the formula down. The G920 is gear-driven, so it won't be as smooth, strong, or quiet as a belt-driven wheel, but it's a good mix of performance and price. Not to mention you can add a shifter to this wheel for only $60, even though it won't compare to the Thrustmaster TH8A that is $200. As you move past the $300 price point, you're now entering the more serious sim racing setup. That's why the recently released T248 from Thrustmaster doesn't make sense at its current $400 price point. It's a hybrid-driven system similar to the TX, although Thrustmaster's page claims it's 70% more powerful. The only plus is it does come with a 3-pedal bass compared to the 2-pedal bass that you get with the TMX. So what is the best budget racing wheel?
This one.
Why did we decide to go with the Logitech G920?
We went with the G920 because you get value for your money here. You're able to get your feet wet in sim racing without a big initial investment. So Erica, you already mentioned how with Thrustmaster it's about a $200 shifter. Well, with the Logitech, you're only looking at $60. And one plus to the Logitech ecosystem is that you already have 3 pedals. You're not going to have an additional cost like you would with the Thrustmaster, where it comes with a 2-pedal set, and you'd have to buy that 3-pedal set to get the full clutch and shifter experience.
It's important to note here, while the successor to the G920 has already come out, the G923 is about $100 more.
So why don't we tell them what the main difference is between the G920 and the G923?
Sure, the main difference between the G920 and the G923 is the addition of the feature called True Force. Now, True Force is only on certain games at this point in time, and at this point, there's really not that many games that support True Force. So why would you spend $100 more for a feature you're only going to use on a few games?
If you're looking for a PlayStation wheel, go ahead and take a look at the G29. It's the same wheel, just with PlayStation branding, but it also works for PC as well.
So what are we waiting for? Let's get this bad boy open.
There you go.
Thank you.
Why'd you just stab the box?
Because I had to cut the tape off it.
You're killing me here. What do we got in the box?
So far we've got power cords, which of course you gotta have power cords. I'm gonna take out the dividers. We have, oh, this is an ad for a play seat. Which Devin does have a play seat. I currently do not. Which you will see if you subscribe to our channel to watch the sim setup video that we're going to be doing here pretty shortly. So here we have the 3-pedal stand that we were talking to you guys about earlier.
That looks pretty nice.
It does. 1, 2, 3. Obviously gas, brake, and clutch. But here is the real product we've been talking about this whole time. And that would be the actual wheel itself. Now, the wheel itself does look very nice. I am surprised by how this wheel looks just for the price. It does have a fully wrapped leather wheel, as well as the side shifters underneath the wheel, which do click. And while I know that some people aren't a fan of the clicking noise, I am. I know it sounds stupid, but I do enjoy that when playing games. I like to know that the button I'm clicking is working. But it does look really nice. It's heavy, it's sturdy. The middle feels like metal. It's, like I said, fully leather wrapped. And it just feels like it was more expensive than it is. How did the pedals feel?
Actually, I was checking them out right now. The clutch pedal has a nice amount of resistance. The brake is pretty similar, but it's actually a little bit tougher, but that's what you expect from a brake, right? It's not gonna be as engaging as a clutch is. And then the gas actually has a nice range of motion. You can kind of see there that it's not a lot of resistance compared to the other two. So overall, I'm actually quite surprised about the quality of these pedals. I think you're gonna enjoy them quite a bit.
Yeah, and I'm excited. I'm excited to have my own sim setup because when I was first learning how to drive stick shift myself, I actually jumped on Devin's simulator and he kind of showed me the very basics. Obviously, it's nothing the same once you're actually in the car, but he showed me the very basics of shifting and using a clutch and actually going through the motions of driving a stick shift car. So this is something that I'm actually excited to have for myself, to be able to play games and to play games with him and to just have my own experience just like I had on his simulator. Thank you guys so much for watching. Now, if you do want to see the video where we do set up my budget racing simulator, you do need to subscribe to our channel because that will be coming very soon.
And that wraps it up for this video. We will have affiliate links down below. Make sure you check it out. We will have the G920 as well as the other products we mentioned in this video linked because everyone's situation is different. You may not have, the $200 to $300 to spend on this wheel, but maybe you have $100 and you really just want to try out sim racing. We encourage you to try it. It's fun. I can't wait for Erica to experience it.
Now let's go.
You forgot a couple things.
Well then come on.
See you on the next one.